Back when I was a community college student, I didn't know about many resources that were available for me to expand myself professionally. You know, as a first generation student, I didn't have much guidance on how to approach career fair, like how to prepare my resume critique, do the elevator pitch, and also practice my interviewing skills. All that changed whenever I did my first internship at Rice University. There I got the chance to meet Tamila Nostoy, our presidenta, where she was giving a workshop talking about how to transition from community college over to a four-year university. There she introduced me to SHPE and the Familia, and ever since I heard about SHPE, I fell in love with this vision. So the first thing that I did whenever I transferred over to the University of Houston, go Cougs, I decided to be active in the outreach, be participating with outreach events. Back then, I still wasn't confident with myself professionally, and all that changed whenever last semester when I decided to start attending all the professional development events so I could be ready for National Convention. At National Convention, I set my personal goal of finding my second internship, and I'm happy to announce that I got my second internship from National Convention. And the reason why I'm sharing this story with you guys is because I want to prove it to you that it's possible to start from somewhere and to get here, you know, up here in the podium presenting a president, you know. And I want to inspire others, you know. So my name is Roberto Martin, and I'm running for president for the next year. As president, I want to set a goal for each pillar. As I'm a master's candidate right now, and I noticed that SHPE local, regional, and national doesn't have many resources available for me to like see what I can do as a master, as a graduate student, or as an alumni. I want to work and bring more awareness to students like me who want to be masters, as there's a lot of opportunities continuing education. For chapter development, I want to ensure that we have a sense of familia, you know. Familia is a very big thing in SHPE, and I want to ensure that every member feels as safe as possible all the time. And in order to do so, I want to enforce a strike system for any members or leaders in our chapter, you know. We receive a lot of support from companies, and this support goes back to the members through scholarships and also sponsorship for National Convention. I want to ensure that companies don't have any concerns with our chapter's integrity. For leadership, I noticed that the morale between chairs and e-board tends to decline as the semester goes on. As president, I want to ensure that we maintain a high morale throughout the whole year, and one way I plan on doing this is by being an active listener. Something that I value in communication is listening. I like to hear what the people have to say about their concerns in SHPE and find a common ground. For community outreach, I feel like we could have done a better job previous year. I feel like we could have done more events, and I plan on working with local professional organizations such as SHPE Houston to cooperate with like Houston Food Bank and other events. And for professional development, I want to maintain the diversity and increase the diversity that our chapter currently has. This includes bringing in more women for STEM, and also bringing in more majors that are not engineering related. For instance, our communications director, Jimena de los Reyes, she is majoring in marketing, and she has been able to do an amazing job as communications director. She is one of the big reasons why our chapter got the social media award this past RODC. So, finishing off, I want to talk a little bit about myself, as I'm a passionate introvert for SHPE. I want to give an example that it can be done, you know. Me starting at community college, not knowing where to go on, hearing about SHPE, and then learning about all the wonderful opportunities that this family offers to us. It inspires me to push myself out of my comfort zone, and at the same time, set an example to everyone else who might be in the same shoes as me, that is completely possible. Thank you.
Okay, so you know the drill about a timer of a 2-minute for the question. So here is my question for you, Roberto. You mentioned in your speech the violation of the code of conduct, and Honestly, it shouldn't be a secret that the drinking problem has been an ongoing issue for years in SHPE. And it becomes more irrational when minors and SHPE leaders are the one actually leading this violation. So how do you foresee tackling this issue?
So one of my plans is establishing a committee that deals with like internal issues such as drinking within the chapter. I feel like there's a lot of resources available from the University of Houston through CAPS and other programs, and I want to establish a committee who can work like studying all the resources that CAPS offers, so we can know how to deal with these situations properly and in a way that like ensures that it doesn't happen more. I want to ensure that like I said, like chlamydia is what I really care for, and I don't want to like hear like one person jeopardize the opportunities for everyone else.
Roberto, I greatly enjoyed your speech. I definitely like how you articulated based on our 5 pillars. And I will leave with that. So you mentioned in your speech that you're an active listener, right? And you like to listen. And whenever you get to the point where you form your chairs, you have your e-board already established, what would be the top 2 pillars that you would want to focus on? You mentioned that you saw some things this year that you saw room for improvement. What were the things that you saw, and how would you go about, bringing us for that?
The 2 pillars I want to focus on in terms of that would be leadership and also chapter development. So this past semester, I had the experience to like hear some stories from some of our members who experienced like some challenging situations. First thing I did was basically let them talk, hear all their opinions, and once they told me their story, I talked with the rest of the e-board, try to come up with a decision, and whenever we tried to come to a decision, there was also like different ideas, like for instance, like there's one of our e-board members wanted to do this thing, but then another e-board member wanted to do this thing. And I decided to, like, after hearing their stories or like their opinions, I decided to come up with a middle ground. And this middle ground actually ended up being accepted by everyone, and we implemented it into our chapter. So that's one way I want to address like the leadership aspect portion. And for chapter development, like for instance, if someone is caught like under a drinking situation, I want to hear like the perspective from like both parties. For instance, some stories might not align completely, so I believe it's fair to hear both stories so we can see what can be done with like I said, with like a committee that focuses with these internal issues.
I have a follow-up there. So as a president, sometimes you would find yourself in difficult situations where you would have to be the one making the decision. Are you comfortable at that point? For example, drinking, that's a very black and white answer. Would you be able to make the hard calls and implement?
Yes, I wouldn't hesitate to do it because it's a zero tolerance thing within our code of conduct. So there shouldn't be any issues. If this happened, then the correct action should be taken. It's nothing personal. It has to do with like the professionalism of our chapter.
It's awesome seeing you here. I remember seeing you for the first time in SHPE, so I congratulate you for coming up here and running for president. All right, so it's crazy, like talking about these issues that have come up in SHPE, something that you would never expect in an organization like this. And one thing that you're going to have to deal with if you become elected president. So if I was a new member and I came in here not knowing what SHPE was about, the first people I see is either going to be a chair or an e-board welcoming me into X event, right? In order to prevent these issues, do you have a plan in mind to kind of set a good face for the chapter for organization as a professional one? And what would that be in order to kind of mitigate these issues that might arise?
So if I get elected president, the first thing I want to do, like I said, is establish the committee, but at the same time, I also talk with both e-board and chairs to establish like what will be like the rules per se, you know, like the whole system that we want to enforce, you know. And like this is going to be part of also like working on a common goal for the whole chapter, so that way all of us have like the same vision that we can apply to any member in any event, you know. This way we can like have something to base ourselves. If there's like a more challenging situation, we can like work together and like go back to what we decided at the beginning of the year.
Thank you.